Hello world. It's currently a Thursday morning. Hey, imagine this, we're expecting more rain this week. You hear my little creek. If you don't need to pee yet, I'll stand here for a minute and let you listen to that. So things take time when you live out here in the woods. I'd been in contact with a couple of guys that I had do some work underneath the house that stopped by and take a look at what was going on here. Excuse me, sorry, I'm drinking my coffee still. And I was supposed to have them show up with an excavator to help work on this here. And I've been in contact with one of the two, back and forth. But I never could get a price one way or the other to commit to. That, like, the one gentleman said he was going to get back a hold of me with a price, and it's been over 2 weeks now, 10, 12, well, it's probably been like 12 days. And then I got a message from the other gentleman yesterday wanting to know about some potential saw and or blade on a weed eater work. So I thought maybe that ship had sailed. Maybe they weren't able to get the piece of equipment, something. But in the meantime, let me turn you around and show you here. There's some other folks out here that also came from South Carolina, and ironically, they're not my closest neighbor. My closest neighbor lives behind those trees behind the garden there. But otherwise, they're my closest neighbors. There's a couple, and I want to say it's her parents that live up here. Anyway, they got 3 generations because they got kids down there now. But anyway, they moved up here from South Carolina as well, and oddly enough, drive a white Dodge truck and a blue Subaru as well. Funny how that works. Like-minded folk, right? Anyway, I was taking down some of the goat fencing, the electric goat fence that I had out back. It had a break in one spot. Anyway, they've still got goats and sheep, and they move them around with a bunch of those electric fences. And so I took the electric fence and the electric charger that I had down to them. And he wanted to know if there was something that he could do in exchange for that. I said, well, I mean, you got that tractor right there. Do you got a blade? He didn't have a blade, but he's got a bucket, which worked. And I had to go down to Knoxville yesterday and deal with some stuff. And when I come home, let me turn you around here. Let me show you what this guy did for me for free. I owe this man a favor. Wow, there's red fuzz on my sweatshirt. That's funny. Everything I own has that red fuzz on it from an electric blanket we bought. Anyway, let me turn you around and show you what he did yesterday when I came home to. All right, so I did have a big pile of dirt right there, but that was just a perpetual mud puddle. He flattened all this out. Mind you, this is all still way too soft to do anything with. I'm probably going to have to get a load of gravel. I have all this rock here. What ended up happening is that all this up here, like all the gravel is right over here. All this is mud, and there's not, now that this is washed down a ways, a lot of that gravel went away. But he went ahead and flattened this out for me yesterday with his bucket, and dug down, walk over here to show you this. I dug down the creek over here and just drug it up the side to try to make an embankment, some bit of a berm, to which, the message that he sent me was, oh, sorry it didn't turn out any better, to which I come out here, because we got home after dark, I come out here in the daylight, and hell, I couldn't have done that better with a shovel if I tried. So I think that's, yeah, it's amazing, once in a while, somebody will come through and do something for you without even really having to ask. I guess there still are some kind souls in the world. I still got to get down there every day. I got to get down there and clean sticks out of there. But for now, this is, until we get another big rain and all this washes away, because the water gets higher than that anyway. But because surely this partially collapsed pipe that's underneath the road here that needs replaced is just going to plug back up, because it's got multiple snags inside. If I felt like putting my rain boots on, I could actually take you down inside of that tube. Kind of claustrophobic though, not my thing. So for the moment, this is remedied. Now we got all that up there. This is my garden space that got away from me last year. That some of you that followed along would know that I put seeds in the ground on my 40th birthday, and about 10 hours later, I ended up in the ER passing kidney stones. And that started a series of health issues last year between the kidney stones and the shoulder surgery. This garden got away from me. I did go speak to an Amish man at the Cumberland Discount Grocery, and he was going to give my number to, as he says, I know a couple of young fellers. So he knows a couple of young guys that got a tiller that are Amish that should be able to come over and do this, and I think they're going to do it for like 50 bucks if I'm not mistaken. Which would be way easier than trying to turn it by hand. I've been looking at buying a tiller, and to buy a decent brand new tiller, I mean, you're looking upwards of about 800 bucks is where they start for a decent one. And then the problem with it is that you're only going to run it once, maybe twice a season, and every time you run it, you're going to have to be messing with the carburetor because it's going to have old gas in it. So I find it cheaper and easier in the long term to just pay somebody 50 or 100 bucks a year to turn the garden, rather than buying a $900 tiller or spending $350 on one that is used, that may or may not even, you know, I found that out the hard way with the big lawnmower that I bought that is still up underneath of the house. You know, bought a big piece of equipment, big heavy lawnmower that required a trailer to get here, and I ran the thing for 15 minutes and the transmission on the thing blew up. It was kind of par for the course coming here, transmission issues. But so theoretically that guy should be here later today or maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I'll be here. I got nowhere else to be for the rest of the week but out here. I did get those 2 lawnmowers over there fixed last week. They both run. I need to cut the grass, but we'll see. I'm going to wait for the sun to get on the yard. It's still kind of chilly out here. It's about 35 degrees. We're back down into the 30s at night. But yeah, this is amazing. Thank you, fellow South Carolinians. His name is Ryan, and her name is Kat. They actually, before they bought the farm that they bought down the road, one of the Month of Freedom videos that I put up where there were cattle running around on a hillside is actually, that's their farm down the road. And maybe if I get friendlier with those folks, I'm working on trying to be friends with them. Maybe I can do a tour down there of what they've got going on, because they've got all kinds of cows and sheep and goats and donkeys and all kinds of stuff down there. So I'll work on that. I'm not going to try to invade their privacy, though. Anyway, there's 4.5 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Oh, well, actually 5 minutes, excuse me. Here's my excited face. Had to come back and get my phone. It's a little early in the season, but the weather's been right. So I've been out looking for hickory chickens. Those of you who don't know what a hickory chicken is, it's a morel mushroom. And I just stumbled across 4 of them. They're not big enough to pick and eat yet, but I know where they're at. And in a couple of days, what are you doing out here, kitty? These damn cats follow me around out here like they're dogs. Anyway, I'm gonna catch up with you over here where they're at. Look at that. There's another one over here. Not big enough to eat yet. I mean, but there's the beginning, and it's gonna be. I need to look close where I'm standing to make sure I don't walk on anything. If I had flags, I'd flag them so I don't lose them. But, oh, look, here's another one. Look at that. There's another one. Oh, it's going to be a good year for hickory chickens. And I'll bet you if I looked around right here where I'm standing, there's surely got to be more of them. Look at that. Woo-hoo. Got my gang of kitties. Oh, no, 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 no. Thank you. Get away from my hickory chicken. Yeah, mind you, I'm out wandering around out here. That's just right there. Silly cats, man. Really need to be careful where I walk right here. Seems like the base of this is the coolest tree on the whole place right here. It's a big sister tree, and I remember there being them around the base of this last year, but not that many. But that's going to be good eating here shortly. But I figured while I was up here, I'd take a little video and show you where I was at. Silly kitties drinking creek water. Alright, well, I'm headed to town to get rid of some trash. Got a bit of a traffic jam here. I don't know where you belong, dude, but the middle of the road ain't it. Come on. I don't want to hit you. There you go. Silly cow. Well, this, folks, is where we take our garbage. Isn't this exciting? There's no dumpster diving here. Boy, oh boy, and imagine that. It's the first week in March. Oh, already cutting and striping the grass. Hey, what a difference a couple weeks makes out here once things dry out a little bit, just in time for it to rain again. But even from back here, that guy did to the creek, man, that's awesome. We'll see. Might need to get a load of gravel. Don't know. Thinking I might actually just get some grass seed, throw it over there, and give it a season to grow and tighten up a little bit, and then kill it off. I don't know yet. It's there's always something to spend money on out here, and if I was always spending the money, we'd never have any. It's I could spend all the money in the world out here, and it would still need something else. So, you know, it's a matter of where to spend the money, and I don't think that right now spending the money on that until we're past the heavy spring rains would make any sense, because I'm sure that's just going to flood again, but who knows. All right, so I'm back out here. I'm standing by the creek here, harvesting rocks. And you might ask why I'm harvesting rocks. Well, I'll show you in just a second. So, mind you, before I get to showing you what's up, Smokey? This guy follows me around everywhere. What I'm getting at here, I got a whole creek full of these rocks. Perhaps it's time to maybe try my hand at doing some masonry work, but for the moment, I still need a couple more rocks. I'm going to jump down here. You know, when it gets a little warmer, it's all just going to be full of snakes. This is, I'm going to be shooting snakes right here all summer. There's a little spot over here. It's got rocks in it now that used to be kind of stationary. It was bad, but this whole area, I got to get in here with the weed eater before that gets any thicker and try to blast that down to the dirt. But anyway, I'm going to grab a couple more of these rocks and then I'll show you what I'm working on. So voila, here we are, rocks, over here by the woodshed. Still working on burning through that wood down there. But I took those rocks, and I know I need to get dirt, but the fact that all this rock is here, and what have you, I at least know it'll have good drainage if I put dirt over the top of it. Still too early to plant anything, because although it was 70 degrees today, we're going to get back down into the 20s in the next couple of nights. So I've got time, but I figure I'll get some dirt, put it in here, dirt, put it on the other side, and maybe hang some plants or something in here just for the summer. Figure out some new pallets maybe for the fall down there. I don't know, someplace else maybe to put the wood. We'll see. But yeah, I got a creek full of these rocks, and I'm thinking I might need to actually get some. I do have a few bags of cement, but I don't think it's enough for what I would want to do with it. But perhaps it's time I try my hand at doing some masonry work, because it's really hard to find either affordable or free building materials like I used to in the city. And so sometimes you have to take a step back and look at what you've got in abundance. That's a free building material. So we'll see. Maybe I can come up with something. Let me go talk to you about what's going on with what I need to do for a bridge now. All right, so right here is where that bridge used to be. Matter of fact, that rock right there used to be over about a foot, and the side of the bridge was on it. There, I had one that went across here, and then I had one that went across down there, kind of where that cinder block is. And they both washed away into the field across the street when we had all that flooding. So I started looking at what materials I had. Number one, this part of the creek right here. Hey, look, more garbage. I got to get down there after this and take that out of there. I didn't notice that until now. I had a stack of these 4x4s left over after we did the work underneath the house. But nothing I could come up with in my head, spacing wise, I can come up to. It would be too narrow to be able to just use these like this. So I come up with a design that I wanted to do, but I'm looking for a specific decking board so that I can use a treated wood decking board. And I'm going to only end up using 2 or 3 of these and kind of space them out, make sure the thing's at least 3 feet wide, and then I'll have enough left over to build a handrail out of the other ones that are there and build it, you know, so that it won't ever break, and then anchor it into the ground. I want to be able to put straps on either side of it and anchor it into the ground so that if water does, because I mean you can see it comes up, but I don't think it fully flooded up there, but in the event that it does, I want this anchored to the ground so that it doesn't wash across the street, or God forbid if I have a bridge here that washes down there and is the reason that the pipe plugs up. I don't want to be that, I don't want it to be my fault, you know, preventative maintenance per se. But this is coming. I just need to find about 110 board feet of a specific decking board, and if I can't find that, I'll you know, maybe change my mind. But I'm looking for something in specific to go with it, and we'll get to that if and when I find those, or I'll show you what I end up settling with. Boy, oh boy, if you only knew what was in that creek water, kitty. I surely wouldn't drink it. Well, I think that might actually be enough for a video. Oh, Jesus. Just ate some spicy hummus that we found on the way to Knoxville yesterday. Haven't had any good hummus in a while. I'm still convinced, though, that hummus is just Mediterranean refried beans, but either way, that's going to wrap this video up. I'm going to do what I can to try to keep doing videos like these when things happen, but like when it rains for a week at a time, there's I wash socks and underwear. Kind of hard to make washing socks and underwear interesting, you know. But I'm grateful that the neighbor came by and did what he did over there at the creek. I'm glad I was able to get the lawnmowers going, to get some grass cut, stare at some things, find some hickory chickens, you know, do some things of the sort. But and I'm not going to continue to bore you because at this point there's probably like 7 of you that are still left at this point in the video, and I'm not gonna waste your evening. So good talking with you. I'd like to say that I'm going to get up tomorrow and make a video, but I don't think that's going to happen because it's, like I said, it's supposed to rain. If something out of the ordinary happens, I'll definitely film that and put it out there for you. That's about it. So, check you out. Peace out, fuckers.